Hey there, Pisces. Welcome to your reading. We're going to do things a little different. This is going to be a past, present, future outcome reading, and the reading is going to be about a specific topic, which is going to be illumination. So I'm going to be drawing random cards, and that is going to determine the topic of the reading. So I feel like there is something that you're not seeing, actually. This is a good card in this deck, and it can represent illumination or being illuminated to something. And sorry, I'm going to put this up here. I know you can't see it, but my table is only so big. So again, you could be needing to see something or needing to be illuminated to like an answer here. You know, I also feel that that card, strangely enough, what's popping into my head is that some of you could be kind of like changing direction in your life, like maybe in all, like kind of all of a sudden. So if you are making any big changes at this time, I actually feel very good about it as well, Pisces, like whatever these changes are, because, you know, it looks to me like you are on this like path of getting answers or, you know, getting illumination on something that you've been looking for answers on. And yeah, that's just like the feeling that I kind of get off of that illumination card. So let's see what comes up. In your past position, you have that focus card, which is actually in the wrong deck, but we will take it. It says, it's difficult to be productive when your energy is scattered in so many different directions. Like, if that isn't a Pisces card, I don't know what is. So definitely in the past, you could have been more scattered. And it does seem to me like with that illumination card that this reading is talking about you getting more focused. I mean, you literally end with the Eight of Wands, which is an amazing card of focus. You have this crescent moon. It says, as the moon grows, so can your wealth, health, and happiness stay positive. So the moon is on the 26th of, if you are watching this in May of 2025. I forgot to say these readings are meant to be timeless. For whenever you find them, they're for you. But if you're watching this after the new moon, then this could definitely say that there is a change going on at that time. I kind of feel like in your past, you know, I think that this is actually something that is missing for you at this very moment of you watching this reading, that in the past you were like more motivated and more driven. And I feel like you felt that way. I also feel like there were things that were happening that were very motivating for you. Again, Nine of Pentacles doesn't represent motivation, but I read intuitively, and that's what's popping into my head. You know, I kind of do feel like Pisces is very motivated by results. Like if you're working on something and you get a result, you feel very motivated. If you're in a relationship and it's going well, then you're feeling really good, right? And you know, I kind of feel like that's like the time that you have come off of, and this is something that you actually got a taste of in the past. I know that sounds confusing, but I feel like maybe back in, you know, like, I don't know, during COVID, maybe, you know, 2019 to like 2023 or somewhere around there, that things were kind of looking like they were going up for you, Pisces, is kind of the feeling I get off of this card. And, you know, in your, then I think since maybe 2023, things kind of started, you know, I don't want to say that things started to get worse, but in your life, but I definitely feel that you've been in the dip for a little bit of a time, right? The good news is that your future and outcome positions are amazing. So, you know, I think that part of this reading is saying that you have had to learn how to create this space right here without having it. The Nine of Pentacles is about your environment. And so it basically says, you know, you were given a taste of some good things in the past. How can you feel that way without actually having those things is what this card is asking you to do. And I also say that because you have the Magician. The Magician is a card of manifestation, and it's a card of being in the energy of what you want before you can have it. So you've definitely learned some lessons about kind of like being in an energy regardless of how the circumstances look, which is, you know, I kind of feel like that is a challenge, or has been a challenge for you in the past, right? Where if it's almost like if you can't see it, then you don't have it. And I feel like you have had to learn how to kind of like have things before you have them, energetically, of course, is what we're talking about. The other thing is, I feel that in the past, he is pointing towards the Queen of Cups, and I kind of intuitively feel that some of you were almost like stripped down, and some of you have gone on this journey of getting back to your heart with him pointing towards the Queen of Cups. So that's actually a pretty intense energy right there. I think that maybe since 2020 or something like that, that maybe you have realized like where you give, where you shouldn't, to people, places, and things. I feel like you have learned to like really see your own value, and we'll talk more about that in a second. You have the Fool. Again, the Fool says, I feel like there are things that you have felt like made you look like a fool. I kind of feel like this happens a lot to Pisces because, the thing is that Pisces is very intuitive, but I think we don't always listen to that intuition. It's like we want to be wrong, It's like maybe sometimes we do. Maybe we are in a relationship and maybe we know it's not going to work day one because our gut is telling us that, but we so badly want to have love that we just accept it and we get into a weird situation, then we end up looking like a fool at the end. Maybe we feel like we should be doing work, and so we just do anything because that's what society tells us to do, and then we end up looking like a fool and we waste a bunch of our energy. It's kind of like a deep reading. I feel like that is what is changing. It's like maybe you are listening to your heart more. Maybe you're listening to your inner voice more. It's like when everyone is telling you, like, oh, why don't you have a job and all this other stuff? But what they don't know is that you're doing things behind the scenes. So instead of like forcing yourself to do things that you don't want to do, it's almost like you're giving yourself time. It's like maybe you're just nurturing yourself more with that Queen of Cups. And of course, that would be a very good thing, Pisces. With the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Four of Wands. Four of Wands is a card of commitment and being committed. I feel like you're ready to change commitments. Again, this is coming up in your past position. And so the Four of Wands can be marriage, but I don't really feel this is necessarily talking about love. I feel like it's saying that you are changing the things that you are committed to. And again, this makes sense with Neptune and Pisces. Neptune's in Aries right now, but it will be retrograding back into Pisces if you're watching this in May of 2025. And, that Neptune and Pisces energy can just change our belief systems, or it can change what we think is true, or it can change tradition in our life as well. So I think a lot of you are kind of like actually crossing that threshold, or you're about to, because we have the Ace of Wands right next to it in the present position. With the Magician, you have the King of Swords. Yes, it's like King of Swords, like society, right? King of Swords is knowledge and wisdom. It is like knowing the 3D type of energy. Excuse me. So King of Swords knows the 3D, but he doesn't necessarily know Pisces. He doesn't know Pisces like 5D thinking or Pisces intuitive 5D thinking and manifesting and all that other stuff. And so it's almost like you're going against society right now, Pisces, even though this is coming up in the past position. I think that with your future position and also your outcome and everything, it's almost like you're embracing your Pisces energy on a deeper level. With the Fool card, you have the Hermit. I think this is those hidden parts of yourself, basically, plain and simple. Again, I don't really have a good example. I'm not saying that this reading is talking about love. I think this reading is talking about everything in your life. But, in love, sometimes I think we keep parts of ourselves hidden, because we say, like, oh, if I tell this person this, or if they find this out about me, then they're going to leave me. And I feel that you're no longer going to be doing that anymore, Pisces. Same thing with, like, speaking up. Like, if someone's doing something you don't like, I feel you're going to be more in a place of speaking up and speaking out and not, like, holding things in. And like I say, it's, like, not like you're being a jerk to anyone. I think you're just speaking your mind. I think you're just speaking up and not holding things in, which is good. Next, in the area of your present position, you have this card. It says follow your intuition. You have this card. It says a new relationship blossoms. Again, the main theme for this reading is illumination, right? And so I think with the Fool, it's like if you are getting into something new, or not the Fool, the Hermit, but also the Fool, sure. It's like maybe you're no longer willing, or it's like you're no longer worried about what people will think about you in relationships. It's like maybe you're more speaking your mind. And like I said, maybe you're not holding back if someone does something you don't like. And like I said, you're just communicating about your boundaries. You're not, I don't think you're going to be like yelling at people or anything like that. But you'll probably be more willing to call things out with this energy. I also do get this energy of you saying no more. which is great for Pisces. I definitely think no is the number one word that Pisces needs to add to their vocabulary, because Pisces is like the number one taken advantage of sign. So, don't be afraid of speaking up with these cards. You have the Ace of Wands, the World, and the Queen of Cups. The Ace of Wands is a passionate new beginning, of course, and it can also be a spark. So our main theme of the reading is illumination and you needing to see something. So the Ace of Wands is just an inspiration. And, I feel you could be on this like inspired journey. Remember what I said at the beginning of the reading? I feel like some of you could be making like a little bit of a shift here. And, it's like what's popping into my head. This is just an example, Pisces. It's like, imagine if you've been planning on working at McDonald's and it's like now I think the shift would be you getting a job at Burger King, right? That's like the shift that I'm picking up on here. So this could be in work or business for sure. And it's like, maybe you thought you were going one direction. You're just going like slightly to the right of whatever that is. Like I said, like instead of working at McDonald's, you're working at Burger King, right? There's like a tiny little shift happening. And that's I feel like you are feeling inspired by this as well. It's like, like this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and again, this could be in business as well. And it's like maybe you wanted to, start a outdoor store for camping, but maybe you change it to fishing, right? It's like there's like some sort of little shift that I feel. And I feel this is something that's happening right now. And so pay attention. You have the World. I feel there is definitely a ton of attention for Pisces. Now, you're not just going to magically get this attention. You're going to have to get out into the world to get the attention. I also feel that there could be some sort of accomplishment coming in for you like right now when you are watching this video. And, maybe I would say over the next, especially if it's not happening this second, on May 26th, we're going to have that new moon. And so, around that time, I feel that that is also the present, and there could be a major kind of like breakthrough for you, or I don't really feel it's a breakthrough. I feel it's like an accomplishment, like you're achieving something. I also feel that there could be, since the main theme of this reading is illumination, I feel that there could be something that really motivates you, is the feeling I was getting on that Nine of Pentacles. You're like putting yourself in a good environment and you're feeling motivated. Like I said, when things are working, I think Pisces can work extremely hard. So, everybody calls Pisces lazy, but I'm like, clearly you don't know Pisces, because, every Pisces I know, like when something is working, they attack it like a great white shark, right? So, I feel in a lot of ways this could be saying that things are working and you're making progress. You have the Queen of Cups. Yeah, all about following your heart. Again, I think the constant problem is Pisces does things, for other people without realizing it. And so I get this feeling that right now you need to make sure that people are not talking you into things without really talking you into things, right? The example I give is like a couple years ago, I had my studio, but I didn't want a studio. That's not what I wanted. But everybody in my life at that time was like, you need a studio, you need a studio. So finally I did it, and I hated it, right? And so, like, again, don't get talked into something that you don't want to do. With the Ace of Wands, we have more illumination coming up in the reading. You have the Sun. So there is clearly some sort of spark, or like a spark of inspiration coming in for you right now in your present that could be making you feel very happy. The Sun is about following your happiness, and that's definitely what I would do with that card. With the World, you have the Queen of Cups. Yeah, the more you follow your heart, the better. It's like the Queen of Cups, her heart guides her towards what she wants. Also would be a card of listening to your intuition as well. Your intuition could be illuminating things for you because, remember what I said about sometimes Pisces doesn't listen to their intuition, or maybe really what it is that you want to be wrong. Maybe you want to believe in a fantasy, but there is a little bit of reality here with the King of Swords, like needing to also focus on the reality of a situation. With the Queen of Cups, you have the Nine of Wands. Yes, if you want love, I would definitely open up here with this energy, especially with that card that says a new relationship blossoms. Again, when we, really, I think we don't have to protect ourselves in relationships. And you might be saying, what are you talking about? What do you mean we don't have to protect ourselves? Well, if you really pay attention when you get into a relationship, and if you put all your cards out on the table, so to speak, here with the Hermit, and you stick up for yourself in those moments when someone does something you don't like, then there's no reason to protect yourself, because guess what? when you stick up for yourself and you say, I don't like that you don't text me all day, if the person flips out and is like, you're trying to control me and all this other stuff, guess what? Leave. There's no reason to protect yourself. Then you could just leave and you dodged a bullet, right? So it's like sometimes I think the things we do to protect ourselves are exactly what gets us in trouble in the first place. And, again, that is what I'm getting off of this card. Next, in your future position, you have this Claim Your Independence card, and you have this Otter Spirit says you are never alone. I definitely feel that Pisces is claiming their independence. I mean, in your outcome position, you have the Empress, which is a very independent energy. You also have the Nine of Pentacles as well. But this reading would kind of say you're getting to true independence, like truly being able to take care of yourself and truly being able to support yourself. But also, like I said at the beginning of the reading, being in the energy of what you want without having it. I think that is maybe something that Pisces has been learning for a long time, is that you can feel a certain way without having the thing that you want. And if you can do that, then things will go very well. You have the Two of Pentacles, the Page of Wands, and the Four of Swords. I feel like you're about to be very busy with the Two of Pentacles. I actually feel pretty good about this Two of Pentacles here, Pisces. Again, I get that feeling of being very motivated because something is working. I don't know how else to say that, but I don't know. It's like if things in work or business haven't been working, and then all of a sudden you discover something that does work, like a technique, a tactic, a way to build your business, a way to work in career or whatever. It's like, obviously you're going to be more motivated to get things done. So I feel like you are just like, oh, I know what to do now. It's almost like this with that illumination card, like this reading saying to me that you just know what to do all of a sudden. And that could be very motivating. You have the Page of Wands. I would definitely say with the Two of Pentacles that this could say in the future you are going to need to be more playful. It's like I catch myself doing this all the time, like where I'll say to myself, like, I'll go play, like I'll go do something fun, like once I get this project finished or something like that. Guess what happens when I do that? Nothing. Right? Nothing happens. My life grinds to a halt and everything slows down because I'm not having fun, right? So I have found in life that, if I'm not carving out an equal amount of time for fun, hobbies, friends, family, things like that, that my life really starts to get slow. So I feel this is saying, like, make sure to play in the future, and also don't use work as an excuse to allow things to slow down, right? You have the Four of Swords. I feel like you are getting more time with this Four of Swords. I feel like you could literally be illuminated to how to create more time in your life right now. Like this could be happening now, and you get the benefits in the future. Like you could be coming up with a daily routine or a better routine. I also get the feeling here that you could be being illuminated to like better ways of working. It's like, I think in work, business, pretty much everything, there are probably more efficient ways that we could be doing everything, and you could be doing things in a very efficient way with the Four Swords, and because of that, it's like you're reclaiming your time. And I kind of feel, the Four Swords can be a blessing, but I feel like that is what the blessing that you are receiving is time. Time to go out, time to have fun, all that other stuff. Yeah, with the Two of Pentacles, you have the Page of Wands. I mean, whenever this happens, it basically just says, I meant what I said. It's basically the universe saying, I meant what I said. So I feel for a lot of you could be having more time. With the Page of Wands, you have the Ten of Cups here. I do feel love in this reading, so you could be becoming aware of a person. It could be any sign. I mean, you literally have everything here. You have Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, Capricorn, Leo, Taurus again, Capricorn again, Cancer, Virgo. I mean, like, literally, I just listed all 12 signs. I kind of do feel like this could be a person that requires travel with the World card and the Page of Wands. The other thing that I would say, though, is you being a Pisces, World, Page of Wands, Sun. It like literally says, guess what? You have to leave the house, Pisces, to be able to find a person. You have to get attention, right? The Sun in the World is like getting attention from the world. The Empress says you are very attractive at this time. So it might not be someone from a distance. It might just be a person that you meet in public. And again, we have this illumination card, so it's like you have to step into the light. With the Four of Swords, you have the Tower here. This is a very good reading. One card does not make the reading. And by the way, The World and the Tower can just represent a move. So some of you could be moving. This could also be a surprise that's coming in for you here. The other thing about the Tower is that it is kind of like a shock to the system. It can represent seeing reality for how it actually is. But you could be doing a little bit of rebuilding here, I feel, with the Tower. So again, if you're finding like better ways to work, it wouldn't really surprise me anyway if you were like doing things to change how you work. Next, in your outcome position, you have this truth card in this meant to be card. Yeah, if you're meeting a person, it could definitely be meant to be here. And the truth card, like I said, it's funny, I didn't even see this card. But with the Hermit, I really feel that if you're getting into anything new, like I feel like you need to not be afraid to, say those things that you normally hold back on in connections. And it's like, this is about speaking your truth. And that's what I feel like you need to do. You have the Empress, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Eight of Wands. So a very abundant outcome for sure. You could be increasing your abundance with the Empress. I also feel like you're very attractive at this time, Pisces. So I would get out there, get attention. The other thing about the Empress is she is the card of ease. All she has to do is wave that scepter in front of her, and the wheat in front of her will grow. So she isn't struggling to grow her abundance, And I feel that this would be a good thing for you, Pisces, to like look for better ways of working or doing your work. And, you're going to have to do your research about whatever it is that you do, but, there probably are more efficient ways to work. You have the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles can represent abundance and success. She is very practical as well. I actually feel very good about this for money because, it's like you could be getting more practical with your finances, like doing some of the boring stuff, like saving a little bit of money and, all that other stuff. And I think that would be great for you, Pisces, just like putting a little bit to the side, saving a little money, all that other stuff, being responsible with your money. I feel like you are doing that. You have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is quick success or quick movement. I do feel there could be like a little bit of a shock here, like shocking communication. Not like in a clickbaity way here, Pisces, that's not what I'm talking about. But, it's like you could be getting communication from a person that's like really good, where you're like, I can't believe that, this person wants me. That's kind of the feeling I get there. Yes, with the Empress, you have the Seven of Swords. Again, Seven of Swords, he's going to war, but in a different way. He is stealing those swords from an army in the background. The main theme, again, of this reading is illumination. So you could, like I said, it seems to me this reading is kind of saying that you are finally getting the answers that you need to move forward. Or, it's like you are finally understanding, like, how to do something that, and it's almost like, I wouldn't really call this a missing piece of the puzzle, but, it's definitely like a boost that you're receiving, and it does feel like in work or business to me. With the Queen of Pentacles, you have the Six of Swords. Six of Swords could be you moving on to calmer shores, heading towards improvement. It is a very good reading, Pisces, so, I feel you absolutely could be moving on to calmer shores. Again, the World and the Tower, we have the World, the Tower, the Eight of Wands. Again, this could be very quick travel, or it could also be moving. Like I said, this is a very good reading. One card does not make the reading, and the Tower isn't even a bad card. It just says you're entering into a new reality. And so this could be a move. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Ace of Pentacles. Damn. Really good, Pisces. The Ace of Pentacles can represent like a big opportunity or, something that has a lot of potential. And so this could be a shock. You could be shocking people with a change here, I feel, as well. Like you could be the one that is taking advantage of an opportunity, and it's like maybe you're leaving something else behind. And, that could shock people, plain and simple. You have this teapot card. It says deep friendship with someone of the same sex. I think you need friends, Pisces. I need friends too, right? So I'm right there with you. I just stay at home all day, and I don't really do anything. Although I do go out with friends from time to time. But still, I think you need more friends. I think you need like more people in your life. You have this candle. It says, you will be shown the way. I mean, literally, I literally just said it on that Seven of Swords, the Sun, the Ace of Wands, the Empress. It's clear to me that this reading is saying that there is like some sort of illumination or some sort of answer that's coming in for you here. You have this bird flying. It says, news is on the way. Eight of Wands could be good news. Now, I would be careful of like an X here, Pisces, with a tower and the Eight of Wands and things like that. So, if you don't want to hear from a person, block and move on. You have this dogs card. It says getting together with friends. Are you kidding? Definitely a good time for socializing, spending time with people who matter to you, anyone who's important to you. Again, I think we don't realize like the benefits we can get from spending time or being with people who are important to us. And that's kind of what this feels like to me, is like there could be a lot of benefits that you don't realize by being with those people that really matter to you, right? And, I would be spending time with those people. You have this bat. It says, take care, enemies are working against you. Yes, I do feel, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Again, I do feel that over the next few years, Pisces could be creating a lot of like jealousy from people because you're standing out in the world. But we've talked about this in past readings. Your job is to ignore it. I think Pisces, I know I do. I have a bad habit. Like, you need to look at where criticism is coming from. Some criticism will be legitimate, but some criticism is just haters, right? And I feel this is saying you need to ignore the haters. But I really like this for you, Pisces. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.